What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update. This is your daily stimulus update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in the United States, Washington, D.C., money, investing, and the stock market, pretty much everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Remember, the new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so, and you won't want to miss out on new videos. Also, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. It really helps out our channel. We got a lot going on here. Check this out. Also, I have a special guest appearance for you guys at the end of this video, so make sure to watch all the way to the end for a special guest appearance that you won't want to miss. Minnesota confirms the U.S. second Omicron case and the third new Omicron case detected in Colorado. My wife. Yeah, it's spreading rapidly here, guys. Yeah, Minnesota on Thursday reported its first Omicron COVID case, marking the second confirmed case of the new variant of concern in the U.S. The Minnesota Department of Health detected the variant through its surveillance program among a residents who recently traveled domestically to New York City. Yeah, the patient is a vaccinated adult male who developed now resolved mild symptoms last week before being tested. In the days before his symptom emerged, he attended the Anime New York City 2021 convention with lots of other people in New York City. Yeah. Health officials instructed the patient to isolate from others, but a lot of people are worried the damage may have already been done. Minnesota Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm said during the press conference that the patient had been vaccinated more than 6 months ago and received a booster dose early last month. Meanwhile, the third Omicron case detected in Colorado as well. Colorado health officials on Thursday reported the third confirmed Omicron variant has been detected in their state as well. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment said in a statement it is confirmed in Colorado. You can see here from the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, the case was identified in an adult female resident of Arapahoe County who had recently traveled to southern Africa for tourism. She is experiencing minor symptoms and is isolating and recuperating at home. She had been fully vaccinated and was eligible for the booster vaccine but had not yet received it. And people are wondering, as the new Omicron sparks new fears, Americans hope for another stimulus checks before the holiday travel ban. We do have a holiday travel ban coming from South Africa. 7 or 8 different countries are not allowed to come from there to the U.S. now, as President Biden has now implemented a travel ban there. And as things could potentially get worse here, we have millions of Americans hoping for a fourth stimulus check here going forward, as really this is affecting our economy now. We've had the Dow Jones index drop over 900 points on Friday. We had a 1,000-point intraday drop here yesterday. The Dow Jones index was up almost 600 points and dropped negative 400 points by the time the day was ending. And we have just millions of people that are struggling right now and kind of wondering, will there be another stimulus check for adults in addition to the monthly child tax credit checks that are expected to be in this next stimulus package, the Build Back Better package that the Senate is working on right now. As you can see here, what about additional stimulus aid? Americans took to Twitter following the announcement of the new virus variant. With previous strains of the virus, the U.S. gave citizens stimulus checks to handle the economic hardship caused by the pandemic. Now Americans want help a go before the new virus variant hits the US. And some states are giving their residents extra boost before the needed holidays. Illinois Republican lawmakers recently proposed giving qualified residents stimulus checks worth $200 each, or a total of $400 for married filing jointly couples. California is currently sending out stimulus checks in the second wave of Golden State Stimulus Check Package 2, which is $600 and $1,100 if you have children as well. And the state of Maine is sending out $285 stimulus checks to over 500,000 people, 524,000 people that are going out here as well, still being sent out as well. The state of California is sending out over 27 million. Mostly just because so many people live in the state of California. So we have multiple different states sending out help, and we expect more to be done here in the coming months going forward. I will keep you up to date. As more states, cities, and counties announce this going forward, I will keep you up to date here on the channel. Also, the White House is announcing new steps, new aggressive steps to combat the virus and this new variant. Here's a kind of quick outline on what is going down here today over this.
Great, thank you. This morning, we have new details on the White House's response to the Omicron variant. It includes a range of new measures and policy changes. Ugochi Iloka is live in the Med Center for us this morning. And Ugochi, you already know a few details that just came down from the White House.
Hey, good morning, Kimberly. Well, according to senior White House officials, President Biden will now require health insurers to cover 100% of at-home COVID tests bought by members. Now, this comes, of course, as the White House tries to ramp up more testing since the new variant is very much present now here in the United States. So that means 150 million Americans with private insurance will be reimbursed for the cost of their tests. President Biden is also launching a nationwide campaign to push people to get boosted. That includes direct emails, texts, and even phone calls to us all. Another big takeaway from the White House's COVID plan is a change for international travelers. Until now, vaccinated Americans coming back to the U.S. only needed a negative test within 72 hours of their flight home. Starting next week, that'll change to within 24 hours. The White House calling for a united front in the latest fight against the virus.
We are dealing with a common enemy, that's the virus. And the only thing we need to do is to join forces against that common enemy.
Yeah, we're also hearing that President Biden will extend the travel and transit mask requirement until mid-March, and I'm sure we'll hear about that later more today about the plan as President Biden speaks with the National Institutes of Health during that 12:30 p.m. Houston time call that we'll expect again later today to get more information.
The other issue we're dealing with is a last-minute deal to potentially avert a government shutdown. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has announced that they have a deal to potentially avert a government shutdown, but that might not actually hold. Yeah, so we have some issues here with Republicans that might not actually, that might block it, so to speak. As you can see here, conservatives offer a shutdown off-ramp in exchange for a vaccine mandate vote. Yeah. A group of Senate conservatives, Republicans, are demanding a simple majority vote on their push to defund President Biden's vaccine mandate for larger businesses in exchange for agreeing to expedite a short-term government funding deal. The push by Senators Mike Lee, Republican from Utah, Ted Cruz, a Republican from Texas, and Roger Marshall, a Republican from Kansas, comes as Congress has until the end of the day on Friday to pass a funding bill to keep the government open and prevent a government shutdown. Because of the Senate rules and the time crunch, any one senator can force the chamber to miss the deadline. And this is becoming a very real possibility. The three Republican senators said on Thursday that they are willing to help speed up the funding bill, which would keep the government open until February 18th, if Senate leadership agrees to hold a vote on their proposal to defund Biden's mandate as an agreement to the funding bill. Yeah, now I don't know if that's going to happen here. That vote, conservatives say, would have to be at a simple majority, meaning that they would need to peel off one Democratic senator to get it into the bill. Quote, I've offered a very simple solution, a very reasonable solution. I just want to vote on one amendment, Lee says, who up until Thursday had been publicly tight-lipped about his thinking, said during a Senate floor speech. A simple up or down, yes or no, a simple majority vote. That's all I'm asking. We're providing every opportunity to avoid a shutdown. But Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican from Kentucky, during a Fox News interview predicted that there wouldn't be a shutdown and poured cold water on the conservative threat to shut down the government over Biden's vaccine mandate, saying, quote, I don't think shutting down the government over this issue is going to get an outcome. It would only create chaos and uncertainty. So I don't think that's the best vehicle to get this job done. Now, Mitch McConnell is actually kind of for vaccines. He's actually came out and spoke for vaccines, but there's a lot of other Republicans in the Senate that are not for these. So he has a slightly different view than some of the other Republicans in the vaccine or in the Senate. And then there's other people that may be for vaccines, but they're not for the approach where they're not for the mandates of the vaccines. So you can be for the vaccines, but not for the mandates of the vaccines. And that's where it kind of gets tricky there. So like you know what I'm saying here, right? So that's where it kind of gets tricky here, and that's where it's going to get interesting here. So even though Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has announced that they have a deal, the deal might not go through. And that could lead to a government shutdown. It could lead to a short-term government shutdown or even a prolonged government shutdown if the Republicans hold strong here. We'll have to see what happens here because this could lead to, as I said, a short or even a long-term government shutdown. Um, and this could exacerbate and lead to longer problems depending on how long or how big the dysfunction grows here between the Republicans and the Democrats. Even though the Democrats have control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, it's that 60-vote filibuster threshold that presents problems for several different things. Also, the debt limit as well, which is December 15th is the estimated date. The problem here is that the Democrats have not been able to pass the stimulus package either. And as the days tick by, we grow closer and closer and closer to that December 15th date to raise the debt limit as well. And remember, the Democrats were supposed to pass the stimulus package, but as the days get closer and closer and closer, it grows more and more likely that they're going to need Republicans' help to raise the debt limit yet again, which means they'll need 60 votes. And remember, last time they only got 61 votes, so they needed 11 Republicans' help. But Chuck Schumer blasted the Republicans again. He has that, not saying that Mitch McConnell doesn't do this as well, but the problem is when you need Republicans' help, it's kind of not really a cool thing if let's just say I was a Democrat, okay, and I needed 10 Republicans to help me. It wouldn't be an easy thing to say, you guys are, and call them a bad word or, call them a slang or, just kind of bash them or whatever, saying, and then say, hey, can you guys vote for me? You know where I'm going here. And this is, and Chuck Schumer kind of has, when he needs their vote, And the Democrats are in power, but yet he's asking them to come vote with them, right? And not saying that Mitch McConnell doesn't do the same thing, because he does, but the problem is that Chuck Schumer is kind of like asking the Republicans to come over and vote with them, and yet bashing them at the same time. It's kind of a weird strategy, right? And yet the Republicans are saying, "Are you crazy?" And I don't know. I personally would have a different strategy, right? I would be saying, uh, I would be thanking the people that voted with me, right? I would love the people that voted with me from the other party, because getting people from the other party to vote on your team, I would love those guys, right? If I was a Republican, let's reverse the roles here. If I was a Republican and I had a select group of Democrats that voted with me occasionally, I would love those guys, right? I would love those guys. Like if I was let me see here, if I was a Republican and Joe Manchin voted with me occasionally, I would love Joe Manchin, right? Dinos, Democrats in name only. I would love people that voted with me from the other party, right? I wouldn't want to bash them, right after they voted with me. I would want those guys to vote with me as much as possible. And now I get it. A lot of people are going to say, but that's their job. They're supposed to do that. But I wouldn't, after they did their job, after they voted to keep the country bank from defaulting, I wouldn't go and slam them. I would go over and say, thanks. You did your job. Thanks for doing your job. I wouldn't say, you guys are, terrible people, but I guess that's just my strategy, right? You guys can let me know if you have a different strategy. But this is the problem here. We have a government shutdown like tomorrow at midnight. We have the debt limit on December 15th, less than 2 weeks away. We have to fund the military here at the end of the month. A lot of people are growing concerned about that, because Democrats and Republicans can't agree on that. We have the stimulus package here, which needs to get done ASAP, as soon as possible. The Democrats don't need Republicans for that. Um, Republicans aren't going to vote for that anyways, but can Democrats even agree on that on their own? All these things here, all crammed into, we need to get them done now. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Speaking of Merry Christmas, here is my little Merry Christmas. Ta-da! All right, go ahead, do it again.
I'm gonna work together. Let me work. We do some better work. No.
I'm the monster, the abominable snowman.
No. Mommy calls it the bumble.
The Bumble, that's right.
No, they can order it. I was trying it with my brightest nose.
You know what? That's the brightest nose I ever did see. I see you spilled some chocolate milk on there, huh? Yeah, right there.
What are you doing there?
That looks like chocolate milk.
What's over there?
Huh?
What's on that?
That's a debit card that we did for a sponsor.
What's on the debit card?
Look.
What's on it? What is on it? What are these?
That's called a MasterCard.
I want to post it to somebody.
You want to what?
I want to post it to somebody.
You want to post it to somebody?
Yeah, somebody else. I want to post it to somebody
You're
else.
so silly. You know what? I want to have Rudolph come and get him with your big red nose. Yeah, can you tell everybody if you're getting ready for Christmas?
Red nose radio, have the very sunny nose. No! Roll out the red nose radio. No. That's enough.
That's enough.
Yeah.
But I'd love to tickle you.
That makes my tummy hurt. Family fun, fun, family fun, fun, you know, family fun, fun, family fun. Open the hands up, good.
Yay! Say bye-bye.
Nana.
Say Merry Christmas.
Ta ta.
Say we love you.
Ta ta.
Say ta-ta for now.
Ta ta for doo doo.
Say we'll see you in the next video.
You and next da da da.
And say click here to watch my newest video next.
Click here to my new video next.
Say thanks and we'll see you in the next video.
See you in next ba ba ba.